Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, September the 3rd, and this is Jedi James about to give my spoiler free review of The Inhumans, which I happened to see finally last night, Sunday, 2 days after its official world release, and 3 days after the sneak premiere, which actually was on Thursday. But I didn't get a chance to see it then because the IMAX screen, something was wrong with the theater, unable to actually show the film due to technical difficulties. Anyway, I am here, Jedi James. That's what I call myself sometimes. Um, and before I get into that, I just want to say that for those who are unfamiliar with the Inhumans, I'm going to give a brief history of who the Inhumans are, where they come from. The Inhumans are basically similar to the X-Men, which we pretty much are all familiar with, in terms of their powers and abilities. The difference is between the X-Men and the Inhumans is that the X-Men are born with their powers right off the bat, whether it be having laser eyes or the ability to control and manipulate weather, so on, etc. Whereas the Inhumans are basically created or were created by an alien race that existed thousands of years ago, actually still are in existence, but they were created thousands of years ago by an alien race. This alien race is called the Kree. And the Kree, according to Marvel lore, had a war with another race called the Shi'ar or the Shi'ar. And the Kree were losing this war and created a warrior-like race from the humans when they came to Earth, and they were called the Inhumans. After this war ended, the Kree left the Inhumans on Earth to pretty much fend for themselves, and the Inhumans were kind of like outcasts on the planet of Earth, but created a life for themselves, and actually created a city too called Attilan, and have lived on Earth for thousands of years. They also created a base on the moon, where they reside, and this is shown in the comic books as well as the movie. It's not a mystery and is not giving anything away. And as many of you may know, I'm a big comic book fan. I actually read comic books, so I'm familiar with their history in that manner. Also, the history of the Inhumans is shown in the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has not received a lot of rave review. I personally think it's a great show. Season 4 was spectacular. And throughout Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they expose who the Inhumans are. They show who the Inhumans are. They give the history of the Inhumans in loose episodes. Like one episode, they may talk about the Inhumans, and the next episode, they may discuss something else. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has not received a lot of popularity, and in some points in time has not received a lot of popular review from not only comic book fans, but from Marvel fans, or so-called Marvel fans. I am a Marvel fan, of course, and I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4 was one of the best seasons they've had so far, and I'm looking forward to Season 5. And I'm also hoping that at some point in time, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Inhumans will tie together. I'm believing and that will happen. I'm sure it will happen. It has to happen. It only makes sense. Now, on to the Inhumans, my spoiler-free review. I think that the movie, I think it was good. It was not great. It was not spectacular. In fact, I'll even get some of the negative parts first, is to say that a lot of critics have gone on to say that the acting was cheesy and just downright bad. I don't completely agree with that. I think that Anson Mount, who plays as Black Bolt, did a great job to have a non-speaking role, because as some of you may or may not know, Black Bolt, he's an Inhuman who does not speak because his voice actually is so powerful it can destroy and level mountains and entire cities. so he does not use his voice, because if he does, he's actually a force of destruction in doing so. But Anson Mount was able to actually carry on the role of Black Bolt without speaking very well. And then the young man who plays his brother, Maximus, I don't remember or recall the actor's name. Maximus and Black Bolt, the actors who play both those roles pretty much carry the movie. Any of the other actors in between, including the young lady who plays as Medusa, the acting was so and so. It was, there were hits and misses in some of their acting parts. But for the most part, the story was good. Some of the special effects were kind of cheesy and looked kind of rushed, or looked like they could have done a better job. If you go see the movie, don't expect to see the Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy scale type films. I think that what they're doing with the Inhumans is the same thing they did with the TV show that I've already mentioned, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is to see what fan base is going to garner, and from there go on with a bigger budget and begin to build better or bigger sets, special effects, so on and etc. for the TV show. Because again, it's only going to be in theaters for a limited time. They're playing 2 episodes back to back, and then September 29th, excuse me, the Inhumans goes to a series on ABC. But for what the movie did not have in visual effects, it more than made up for location shots. The movie was shot primarily in Hawaii, where my sister-in-law is from, Virginia. Hey, Virginia. Was shot primarily in different parts of Hawaii, and the shots are absolutely gorgeous. They are really nice to look at. I've not been to Hawaii myself. I definitely want to go. I've been invited there a couple of times, but never made it. But that's another story. Right now, we're talking about the Inhumans, and again, the shots that were used to film some of the scenes are beautiful, spectacular to look at on screen. And those shots, you can see IMAX truly uses their photo lens or their digital photography to capture the scenery, and again, a very, very spectacular way. You will really like what you see in terms of visual location shots. That pretty much saved or made up for what they didn't do in special effects or visual effects for me as a viewer. I think that the Inhumans really is garnered towards Marvel fans more so than just your general audience. And that's who I would really suggest to see it if you're truly a Marvel fan, if you're truly into Marvel lore. It's not an Iron Man film or Captain America or even Guardians of the Galaxy, who were at one point unknown heroes, just like the Inhumans are. I think you'll get there, but it's going to take time for it to get there. And even so, if it does, it still may be only garnered and geared towards hardcore Marvel fans. Again, which is what I am. So again, I would suggest seeing it. If you're into Marvel like that. If you're not, then it's something you could pass by without missing much. And that's not in any shape, form, or fashion dogging the film. I actually got a chance to see it twice, and I enjoyed it. Again, it's not the greatest Marvel film I've ever seen, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and I look forward to more episodes starting September 29th. So again, anyway, that's my spoiler-free review right now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Everyone have a beautiful day, evening, or whatever time it is, and wherever part of the world you're in. Peace out. Live long and prosper.